my name is Sandra Wheatley. I'm SVP at Fortinet, and today joining me is Lynn Dohm, Executive Director of Women in Cybersecurity. Hi, Lynn. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me, Sandra.
Delighted to have you. Given today is International Women's Day, I think it's the perfect timing to be talking about such an important topic as the role women can play in IT and in particular in cybersecurity. So, Lynn, maybe we could start off by you explaining a little bit about the organization and your role at Women in Cybersecurity.
Sure. My name is Lynn Dohm, and I'm Executive Director of Women in Cybersecurity, but we often go by our acronym WEISS, WICYS, and we pronounce that WeSis, like we sisters, because that's exactly what we are. We are a cyber sisterhood. And our mission is to recruit, retain, and advance women in cybersecurity. We're a 501c3 member-based nonprofit. We have over 5,400 members. We're a global organization. We're so proud to have representation in over 70 countries. And in addition to that, we have 43 professional affiliates, which are mini WeSys organization. And they're all throughout Africa, Australia, Canada, France, India, Pakistan, the UK, and throughout the United States. And on top of that, our mission is to recruit, retain, and advance women in cybersecurity. So, of course, we also have student chapters that are able to retain and embrace and empower women in that academic space as well in order to support them through their careers moving forward. So it's really exciting. What we do is we create opportunities, and through that, all the different initiatives and training programs we have, such as our partnership with Fortinet, we're able to make great things happen for keeping the momentum of women in cyber going strong.
Great. Thank you, Lynn. I have to say, I love your organization. I think it does great work and in terms of educating women about the opportunities. I actually even ended up mentoring one of your members after a previous speaking opportunity. So thrilled that Fortinet is partnering with WiCyS, but would love to get your perspective on what you're seeing happening in the industry and your thoughts about women, the role of women in tech and cybersecurity, and any of the progress that you're seeing from your perspective.
So, women in cyber, the needle has moved ever so slightly. When we started as a conference back in 2014, there was 11% of women in the cybersecurity workforce. So now we're at roughly 20 to 24% of women in cyber. So the movement is there, but there's still so much more work to do. So what we're seeing now from the global organization is more of an embrace, effort from the employer partners on the power of the diversity of thought, and really honing in on it takes all genders, identities, ethnicities, races, cultures, experiences, backgrounds, and more, all hands on deck. The more diverse of a cyber team, the more effective of a team. And really what we're seeing is just a lot of conversations and a lot of engagement in that regard to build up these really effective cybersecurity teams, and thinking outside of the box to hire those teams, because the adversaries are certainly attacking the underrepresented population. And to have that diversity of thought on your teams is really critical to solve those problems that have never previously existed before. So we're seeing a lot of conversations in that regard, and just a lot of engagement, building up programs to upskill and up-level women so that they can be retained. I mean, you and I both know that the average woman steps out of their tech career at the age of 35. That is a big problem. So with WeSys, we're an organization that does the recruitment, the retention, and the advancement of women, and it's the full life cycle. Let's recruit women into cybersecurity careers and have them thrive in that space, but also ensure that we're engaging with employer partners such as yourself to retain them. And what does that retention look like to keep that community and that inclusive space going strong, and then support them through advancement opportunities? And then when you're at a level like yourself, Sandra, be able to pay it forward for others and keep that cycle just continual and going strong always.
I completely agree, Lynn, and I think you raised some really important points. I know this is something that Fortinet is really committed to. And we created our Training Advancement Agenda, our TAA initiative, to really tackle this problem. I think last year we made a pledge to train 1 million professionals over 5 years, and that's something we're on track to do. And I truly believe that companies and organizations like yours need to be collaborating to really move this agenda forward. Do you have any thoughts on some of the things that organizations can be doing to foster more diversity and encourage more women into tech roles?
So it's interesting because there's so many conversations that we have, and that's a really good question. I was at an event last October, and I was sitting next to a CISO at a big healthcare company, and he was telling me that his cyber team is 35% women. And I said, "Oh wow!" It was during lunch, and we were just having a candid conversation. I said, "That's great. That's above industry average." And I said, "What are you doing?" And he said that he's not going to stop until it's 50% of that he has women on his workforce. And I said, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm paying attention." And it's so simple as that. He's recruiting outside of the box. He's not taking no, there are no women in cybersecurity, to apply for this position. I mean, WiCyS itself challenges that status quo. Here we are. We're all women in cyber, and we connect and collaborate together continually. But for this gentleman in particular, he really just focused on paying attention, making mindful actions, looking and making sure that the job recs were gender neutral terms, bringing up the soft skill sets to the higher part of the requirements there, because that's both needed for men and women to be able to apply and be a part of that position. Really looking at what would he prefer to have and what could be trained on the job. I mean, are those items that are in the job requirements really necessary? And always just approaching it as anyone that he hires on his team is always going to be a forever learner. Everyone in cybersecurity is like an apprenticeship. You could have a skill set going in, but you're still going to have to learn the skill sets of the organization. And just like cyber, you're going to be navigating through the ecosystem each and every step of the way. So much on the job learning and opportunities are there. So again, just being mindful, paying attention, and making those steps to drive the change that's needed.
I think that's a really great point. At Fortinet, some of the things we're looking at are our recruiting practices. But one of the things that I firmly believe is that it's so important to expose young women and students earlier to cybersecurity. And one of the programs we implemented in the last 2 years was our internship program, which allows us to really target more women and really expose them to the various opportunities. Because one thing that comes up constantly when I meet with different organizations or different groups is this idea that to go into cybersecurity, you have to have a computer science degree or a technical background. And that's really not the case, because there are a lot of skill sets that map really well to cybersecurity. We even see that through our veterans program. Veterans have a lot of situational awareness, they attention to detail, they work very well under pressure. And a lot of those skills map back to cybersecurity. What's your perspective on this? And, how can we change some of these practices to really bring more diversity into cybersecurity and have other women recruit other women to enter the field?
I mean, it's really interesting that you mentioned this, because back in 2014, when Dr. Ambereen Siraj, who is our founder, she's at Tennessee Tech University, she decided that she was going to start the very first Women in Cybersecurity conference as a way for women to speak to other women about their cybersecurity careers and really making those connections. That was her why. It was because when she was studying cybersecurity, she was one of none or very few women. And then when she became a professor and was teaching cybersecurity, she was still realizing that the ratio didn't change. She was still the only female in the classroom, or very few others were there. So she sees nothing but career opportunities, engagement, and the workforce in cybersecurity really needing the power of diversity of thought there. And she thought, let's go ahead and make something happen. Let's do one little simple shift and let's have women speak to other women about their cybersecurity careers and make that connection. And that's what WiCyS had. The very humble beginnings of the WiCyS organization was just that. And what we could do is what you're doing, and it's bringing us together in this space with FortinetLIVE to be able to have these conversations, to be the voice for women in cybersecurity, to showcase our talent and skills. At WiCyS, we often say, together we thrive. And at the WiCyS conference, we bring that up often, or together we rise, because as one woman rises to bring out her hand and bring another woman with her is the glory of the organization and the opportunities that lie ahead for women. So it's being the voice, be what others can see. And that's a woman in cybersecurity, and have those conversations, tell others, showcase yourself. For some, it's uncomfortable, but when they receive training and receive certifications, put that on your LinkedIn profile, tweet about your experience, be authentic, be genuine, put yourself out there though, because if we want more diverse talent in the cybersecurity workforce, we have to collectively make the decision that we're going to speak more freely about our experiences, and that we have a strong community that's here to support one another along the way.
Thanks, Lynn. That's really powerful. And I think, that's one of the, it's this kind of passion that really makes this partnership such a strong partnership between Fortinet and WEISS. Maybe I know we've really made some great progress through our partnership. I understand there's over 135 members that are currently active in Fortinet's Training Institute program. Tell us a little bit more about what excites you about the partnership and how our partnership is expanding.
So the Fortinet partnership has been wonderful. You became a strategic partner a little over a year ago. And with that, we're able to offer the WiCyS community vouchers for your training programs. And like I mentioned earlier, we have over 5,400 members. So we sent out a little note to our members in our members news bite about that opportunity. And the excitement and enthusiasm from our community was just exceeded expectations. Our info at WeSys.org inbox was just filled with inquiries and requests for the vouchers. And we're just really happy to be able to have a partnership with Fortinet that filled a void. And we're all here to fill that void. I mean, WiCyS is in existence to bridge that gap. And so that's why we have a veterans apprenticeship program, an internship program, a mentor-mentee program. These are all different ways that we engage the community, bridge the gap, and make good things happen from it. And so this was just another opportunity that our partnership with Fortinet, when you came on as a tier 3 partner originally, that was elevated through that. And so I work closely with the Fortinet team. You have a lovely team on your side, and you're really fortunate for that. And recently you've leveled up your partnership and came in as a tier 1 strategic partner. So now you're part of the mission support team. The mission support team helps guide the board of directors. We have, lots of different collaboration and partnerships and different programs that we are going to be able to make more available to the WiCyS community because of this just higher level of engagement. So we're really excited on the WiCyS side, and I know our community is enthusiastic as well.
Well, we're really excited too, Lynn, and this has been an awesome conversation. Thank you for sharing more about the great work that you're doing and about the WEISS organization. I would encourage others to check out the organization. I think it's fantastic. I think you're doing great work. And then also for anyone who would like to learn more about how Fortinet is closing the skills gap and how we're focusing on bringing more women into the workforce, as well as other minority groups, please visit the Fortinet Training Institute website and check out our TAA initiative. Thank you.